Eddie, thanks for jumping on, and I think we'll just have like a little chat and talk about your experience in the cash flow machine mastermind group. I mean, that's what we're talking about here, and you've been such a great member, and I think you're getting some really great results, and other people probably want to hear about it. So welcome. Tell us a little quick 30-second introduction, what you do, who you are, where you are, all that stuff.
Yeah, so my name is Eddie Liu. I am a pediatric anesthesiologist, live here in Salt Lake City, Utah. And I've always been interested in the stock market and investing, have been self-educated and have some success, varying degrees of success and distress, I guess. And then I've just been trying to find a way to supplement my income so I can cut back at work, spend more time with my family, do things I like to do, maybe go on medical missions, and just not work so much. I mean, I love my job, love working with my patients, but it is, I'm not getting any younger. It's harder to do those long overnight call shifts. Actually was on call this weekend. Still recovering a little bit. Not a spring chicken anymore. So
Takes a little longer.
Yeah, just looking to take a little more time off.
Yeah.
Like I said, maybe travel the world a little bit more.
Now, have you done much investing in the stock market or the options market or anything before, or a lot or a little? I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, I have been investing probably since I was in college.
Okay.
Investing probably more speculating. I wasn't quite sure. Read some newsletters, heard of a little company called Amazon back in 2003. Put $1,000 in, got about 40 shares. Quadrupled my money, cashed out at like $4,000. Thought I made a killing, but yeah, I think those 40 shares would be a lot more now.
Tough to hang in there.
Yeah, I got into options about 5 years ago.
Okay.
So I'm pretty experienced with options, as much as I can be with a full-time job, but was looking for some consistency with generating an income that could replace my income.
How'd you run across the cash flow machine?
Found a Facebook ad, responded to it, watched your introduction video, send in my information, and then somebody reached out to me. I think his name was Rick Nino.
Okay.
Nino. Yeah. I don't remember his name, but
yeah,
Rick, I think that's his name. And I've taken many courses before, read lots of stuff and was intrigued by how things worked. And definitely not a novice, a little skeptical because people promise you the world and they make most of their money like selling courses. So asked Rick lots of questions and finally just decided to take the plunge, and it's been awesome. It's like the best thing I've ever come across for consistent gains. So
good. And I know you're doing it. There's lots of different ways to do it. But tell us like how you started, you learned, you took the course, tell us about your experience in it. Was it easy? Was it hard? Did you enjoy the process? All that kind of stuff about, taking the course, because that's the first part, is taking the course.
Yeah. I love learning, I mean, spent a lot of time in school training to be a doctor. So, I mean, I've always loved learning, even out of medical school and residency. So I loved the course. It was a great course. A lot of it was review, and then I got into some of the stuff that I didn't know, but like I said, I had options experience. I sped through the course a lot, found out that I could listen to you at 2 times speed. So you were probably wondering, really, is this guy really listening to this course?
Was.
I actually did. I think I did pretty good on the test too, but
I remember, if I remember right, you were whipping through the test, because I get notifications when people are taking the quizzes, right? Because I always want to know what my students are doing. And you were taking like one test after the other, and you're getting hundreds on all of them. Like, what is this guy cheating? How can he be watching him this fast? And then you finally fessed up and you said, I'm watching him at 2x speed. And I think I talk fast anyway. So that's pretty amazing. So, okay. So you went through the course, and then what happened? What happened after that?
Well, I mean, I started implementing it. like I said, I'm not a novice to options, so I was comfortable, selling calls, and I actually used to just do it options with the stock. I had to get used to the synthetics, but first got used to the covered calls, selling covered calls, and trying to wrap my head around kind of what was going on, because usually with selling calls, most of the world considers a slightly bearish to neutral um, uh, strategy, but in trying to wrap my head around it, it took me a couple of weeks to kind of get up to speed on
It's a
the
little bit
whole.
different way of thinking, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Now,
is. It
do
is.
you think this is something that if somebody doesn't have any experience, they can learn?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think um, I picked it up quick, but I think some of my prior, options experience may have been holding me back, trying to,
Yeah.
recalibrate my thinking. But I think people will understand the concept pretty quick, if they have any sort of inclination to learn about, math or the stock market or whatever. And motivation is a great key to learning, especially as an adult. So money is a good motivator. So
And you don't learn from just taking the course. You got to kind of get into it. And I know you get on our calls every Friday as much as you can when you're not, putting people to sleep in your operating room. And you always have some really great things to say. So what are those calls like for you? Do they kind of affirm what you do? What do we do on those calls? Maybe you could just tell people that have no idea what we're doing here.
So on the calls, um, I know you go over the market and tell us kind of the conditions of the market, what you think, which I appreciate, because I'm still learning. I think like everybody's still learning, but you're several years ahead of me in terms of stock markets and chart reading. So we do that, and then usually we discuss a topic that's of interest to the group, maybe an aspect of the system, or aspects of trading that you need to think about. And then we just kind of go around the horn, and share experiences, share wins, share losses, insights, and it's really been helpful. I think accelerated my learning 10x, in terms of getting the system down, kind of finding out what kind of trader I am,
Mhm.
learning from other people's mistakes, so I don't lose as much money doing their learning from their mistakes. So it's really awesome, because you're surrounded with people who are like genuinely nice and care for each other,
Yeah.
and
Family.
you rub off on each other. You share successes, you share failure stories too, and learn from that, like I said. And then just I think it's a very positive group.
That's great. So I want to be respectful of your time. So if you, as much as you want to answer this, um, how much are you investing, or what kind of results are you getting, those kinds of things, and then we'll get into what you plan on doing with that maybe after that. But tell us like how it's working for you and how you're implementing
Well, initially, I invested probably, well, I was investing both my wife and my Roth IRAs. Like I said, I was comfortable with it. Initially had 250,000. Lost a little bit of money because I was, learning the system, making some dumb mistakes. But last year, after I kind of finally got things down from, from the middle of the year to the end of the year, I gained probably about 48% in my two Roth accounts, my wife's and mine.
it? Nice.
And so far this year, I'm up in those accounts probably about 25%, even in a down market. I'm investing
Really
in
bad down
Tesla.
market.
It's been a pretty bad down market, so the gains haven't been as quick, but 25% is, just over 8% a month
Yeah.
those last 3 months. So that's pretty good. My goal is to, make those accounts 500 grand by the end of the year, and I think I'm going to easily hit it. I may have to raise my goal once I hit it. Always set my sights further up. But to have $500,000 of tax-free retirement, that's awesome. So
Yeah, it's great that you're in IRAs, because this is short-term trading. I mean, it's, it's not like day trading, but it is, you roll things over in the week on a weekly basis. And you, more than a lot of people in the program, because there's a spectrum of how you can apply the knowledge and the different techniques that we have, because we have lots of rules, as you'll attest to, but you apply it in a very conservative way, right? You sell deep in the money, and most people don't know what that means if they're not involved in what we're doing, but you applied in a very conservative way, and you're still making what most people would think are risky type returns, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, everybody tells you if you put your money in an index fund, you'll make 8 to 10% a year,
Right.
which is great unless inflation is like 8% officially, but we know it's probably more than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty conservative because it's an IRA, it's my retirement. I want it to grow. Like I said, it's grown a lot this year. I'm actually aiming for 500,000 by the end of the year, but I think I'll probably hit it by the middle of the year, like June or July. So, but I play it safe, collect the juice every week, and sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little less. But even in down markets, I'm up about 25% this year, like I said. And it just works. You just have to follow the rules and find out what kind of trader you are. Learn from others' mistakes, like on the mastermind group. Learn from your own mistakes. And yeah, I mean, this is an awesome program. I'm actually talked to my wife last week, and we said, hey, I could probably, I started trading this in a taxable brokerage now because I have so much confidence. And I said, hey, maybe I can take some more time off next year. She's like, yeah, we should. If you can replace your income with your stock trading, do it. And
Nice.
I'm so confident in it that my mom, who has always been asked me to manage her money, which it's hard. She's retired, and she's
Big
like,
responsibility.
she's like, I just need a little bit of money to supplement my Social Security and some of my other savings and stuff like that. Can you do that? And in the past, I've been like, I just can't guarantee you gains, and net with cash flow machine, I can be really conservative and still generate, a consistent income for her. She wants like $1,000 a month, and she gave me like 125 grand or something to invest. And I'm like, yeah, I can do that. I can probably do that every week,
Yeah.
on average. And in fact, we're probably up. I started investing her money about a month ago, and I'm up probably 4% in her account. She put her money in a CD and was getting like 1% a year.
Don't even tell me that.
I'm just like, no, I can easily make you $1,000 a month, with this cash flow machine. So, like I said, Mark, you've created this system. It's been awesome. I'm, confident in it, and it's very liberating to think, I can cut back at work, and I enjoy work a lot more when I work a lot less.
So. Yeah, for sure. So it's funny. I was just telling one of our other students today, actually, that 6 weeks ago, and we're in a down market. And you and I trade primarily Tesla, right? Yeah. I was in a down market. I had $200,000 in this one account. You probably, if you're listening to this, you probably heard about my IRA. I won't bore you with that one, but that one's gone up, almost 7x now. But I'm not going to jinx it. But that hasn't even been 2 years. But anyway, this other one was just Tesla. I put in $200,000 that I did when I sold one of my assets 6 weeks ago, and it's already worth $257,000. And it's just in Tesla. Now, if you're listening to this, you know that I talk about making 2 to 4% a month. But if you apply yourself in the right way, we have some tools that allow you to get a little bit more leverage without taking a huge amount more risk. And that is why people like Larry and me, we're able to get some of those better returns. But if you just want to do this like he's doing for his mom, you can dial this down to make it 2 to 4% a month pretty easily, almost like without even thinking about it. So as we kind of wrap up a little bit, Eddie, and I appreciate your time. Maybe you could just, if somebody's sitting on the fence, what would you tell them maybe they're a little bit afraid of options, or they're afraid of putting their money in the stock market, or they hear Kramer on TV scaring them, or they hear somebody saying that we're going to go into a bear market. What would you tell people about, first of all, not just the cash flow machine methodology, but maybe the mastermind program itself?
Well, I would tell them that, yeah, you should be scared about, the stock market. You should have a good amount of respect for it,
Yeah,
because it can definitely whack you. I've been whacked a bunch.
me too.
But in terms of learning this stuff, um, like I said, I came in with a lot of options experience, probably more than most of your students, and I'm still learning. So if you come in with a learning attitude, and you follow the system, you'll make money. Like I said, I have that much confidence. I'm managing my mom's money, and then I'm putting money in a brokerage account so I can use it, before I retire. And then with the mastermind group, you'll accelerate your learning curve, and lessen your um, your mistakes in short amount of time. And I was on the fence for it. I mean,
It's true.
I asked so many questions. Like I said, I was very skeptical. I'd been in so many trading groups and learning groups and courses, spent probably tens of thousands of dollars on previous courses, and learned stuff from them, but nothing that I could say consistently makes, conservatively 50% a year. Like I said, last year it was just half a year, I made 48%. Learn from my mistakes, from September to, lost a little money trying to learn the system and making stupid mistakes. But from September to December, I was like 60%.
Yeah.
And like I said, now I'm in my accounts, across all my accounts, I'm probably like 23%. I started my other account a little later.
In a
this
quarter
year.
of a year.
In a
Basically.
quarter of a year. So, do the math, it's 100%. And this is even in a down market.
Yeah.
So if you're on the fence, I know it can be a good chunk of change, but like I gained that back within the first, 3 months of doing the system. um, I'm skeptical. I was skeptical. I was really skeptical, and just be like, you know what, this is just another guy selling stuff, but it works. It really works. Like I said, I'm coming back at work next year, hopefully, if they'll let me. It's not because I can't let off the gas in terms of my income. It's whether they let me or not. We have enough manpower. I can cut back and work. It's not because of the money, because the money's there. If you follow Mark and you learn from him, you'll be on your way to financial freedom. So thank you, Mark.
Well, thank you. And thanks for following the rules, and thanks for being on here to let people know that if they're on the fence. And I am just another guy selling stuff, but I believe, like, you'll resonate with this. I believe I have the cure to cancer for investing. Like, I've been doing this for over 4 decades. I've never seen anything like this. And it's not just because I created, or I was part of the creation process, because I think it was a culmination of my mentors and whatever other forces are in the universe. But we've got something, I think, pretty special here, and people like you that are in the mastermind group that make it even more special. And we have kind of a family. And my goal is to affect a lot of people and help them transform their lives. I don't think we should have to work until we're 65 years old to retire, unless you really want to. I mean, I think you should have the option to do it a lot earlier, like you're planning on doing. And I know, like, several other people in our group are doing. But most people won't believe me. They might believe you, right? Because you're the one that's doing it, not the guy selling it. But I really believe we got something really cool here.
Yeah. I mean, I'm planning on being in the group a long time, if you'll still have me.
Of course.
I sometimes make fun of you a lot. I make fun of you a lot, but you make fun of me too. But but we have a good time. It really is a good time. Absolutely. And just like you said, you started with 200K and up to 250 so far this year, right? I started with
257 in 6 weeks.
Yeah, I started at 200K January, and in that account I'm like 239, 240.
I'm crushing you.
Yeah, you are. I'm just really conservative, and
You are.
I'm just
Well, that's
like,
why you didn't lose the money during the real, we had like a 12% downtick from January 1st until, right about now, or maybe just a little, maybe last week. And you were up the whole time. And you were like, I was like, do what Eddie's doing, everybody. And a lot of people did. And a lot of people were smiling. So it's really great. Well, listen, I don't want to take too much more of your time. So thank you so much for jumping on. I just wanted to kind of capture, what your feelings are here. You haven't even been in the program a year, but it's so nice to see that you've matured into this. Now you're doing advanced stuff and you're still learning. I'm still learning. I've been doing it for decades. So I think we'll be learning together for a long time, pal. So I really appreciate your time.
yeah, I look forward to keeping this relationship open, and learning from each other,
Yeah,
and the sky's the limit, right? So,
absolutely. Thanks, Eddie.
all right.